Hello and welcome to Okie Live. Today we're going to do another segment of Will It Freeze Dry? We really wanted to see what some of our favorite candies would do in the freeze dryer. So we've got a couple of things over here. We've got some Mike and Ice, which are some of my favorites. Milk Duds come in at a close second. I don't know where these came from. They must be from Lacey. Jolly Ranchers. They're okay, but I wouldn't have chosen. Skittles, we all know these are Lacey's.
You don't like Skittles?
I like Skittles, but I think they're yours.
Yeah, they're mine.
Starbursts are the same thing. They're more her than me. And Sour Patch Kids. I guess you like Sour Patch Kids. I like them okay, but
I just saw them and thought, yeah, we'll try it.
So we're going to put these out on the trays.
Did you say these?
Oh, no. I forgot about these. Brother-in-law, he really likes these, and he wanted to see what these were like, so he gave us a few to put in for this video as well. So, also, you may notice we're in a different room. This is the room that we just closed in. We were able to kind of get our freeze dryer put down in here, and so we're super excited to not have to listen to this thing while it's doing this. It's not that it's crazy loud, but it is just a noise that you can hear in the other room when you're doing anything else in any of the other rooms of the house. I'm really excited about that.
So this will be our first time of using the freeze dryer down here in its new home.
So join us. We're gonna load this up on some trays. We're gonna put the little silicone mats down on the trays because I don't want to deal with the mess. Ultimately, I don't know what kind of messes these will make, but some of these, especially like the Milk Duds and maybe those little cosmic brownies, I really anticipate them making some messes. I don't know. The Jolly Ranchers, I don't even know that. Personally, I don't feel like they're going to do anything.
We'll see.
They might, but it just doesn't seem like something to me that would react.
But the silicone mats just make it easier to take off of the trays, so they're flexible and we can just peel it off a lot easier rather than trying to scrape them off the tray once they're done.
Yeah. So follow along. First thing I'm going to do, I already have the freeze dryer turned on from the back. I'm going to go ahead and just hit start. That way it starts the freezing process, or at least the cooling process. That way that it's ready to accept the trays whenever we got to get this all packaged up. Alright. See, another reason I wouldn't have chose these is they're individually wrapped. So that's going to be real fun to package out on this tray. But we'll do it anyways, just for the thrill of figuring out what they do.
I don't know if you can see this, but this bag of Starburst has the best flavors. These are the ones I love. There's nothing like a pink Starburst. I didn't even realize I bought that bag that way until I got it home, or until just now.
We have them all spread out on here. As I predicted, the Jolly Ranchers and the Starburst are going to be the pains, just because you had to wrap them all, but they still weren't too bad.
Very tedious.
Yeah. We're looking really forward to see how these all turn out. Next step is, well, the freeze dryer is saying that it is ready to go. I can now load the food in. I've already shut the valve off, so for the closed drain valve section there. And we're just going to open up and load them in. I'm going to start with this, whatever these are called, Starburst. All I can say is, I sure hope those Ike and Mike's.
Mike and Ike.
Mike and Ike's. Woo! All I can say is I sure hope the Mike and Ike's come out tasting better than they do just out of the box, because I really don't want to waste them. So we're gonna close it up, and then we're gonna hit continue. All right, so it's starting the freezing process. It'll take it a few hours to get down to the temperature it needs to actually start the vacuuming process. At this point, it's all out of our hands. The machine does everything it needs to do. We'll probably have to check back on in about, my guess is about 24 to 32 hours roughly on this one. We'll see you whenever we get ready to pull them out.
Okay, we're back. It's the next day. We've done the freeze drying, and
so I just want to take this moment to tell you every one of my predictions were absolutely correct. I predicted it was going to take 10 hours to complete the freeze dry. I guess it's about 24 to 32 hours roughly on this one. And then I also predicted that the Jolly Ranchers were just going to explode like crazy. The Jolly Ranchers, I don't even know that, personally I don't feel like they're going to do anything. So let's show you what they actually did. All right, so first off we have our Starburst. They look like they pillow it up a little bit, but not too crazy. They feel a lot more crunchy and lighter now than they did before. And this tray of color is our Jolly Ranchers, though they look nothing like Jolly Ranchers anymore. And then our Mike and Ike's. The Mike and Ike's are still pretty kind of gooey. They just have a little bit more of a crustier outer shell. And I'm not for sure what to think about these Jolly Ranchers, but it looks like they kind of all went in together. So that might be a mess. Here's our Milk Duds, which look completely different as well. I'm gonna guess it's just because it kind of expanded, the caramel inside expanded so much that it kind of just brought all the chocolate away. And then our Brownies, which look about the same, a little harder than they were before. And then here we have our Sour Patch Kids and our Skittles, which look like they all split open, but they kind of look kind of neat. So the Sour Patch Kids don't really seem like they've changed a whole lot. They're still squishy and gummy. I'm really interested in those Skittles though. All right, so I think we're gonna do a little bit of taste testing just because it's candy, I want to. And then we're gonna package these all up and store them for future.
not very long, I'm sure.
Yeah, I'm
sure. My nieces and nephews are gonna probably really dig into these.
Oh yeah. So one of the most interesting ones outside of these Jolly Ranchers, which I feel like they're gonna be hard to get apart, is I wanna see what the Skittles taste like. Because I've heard about freeze-dried Skittles before and them selling them at events. So I got two. I don't know what she grabbed.
I just got one.
I got an orange and a green.
The red.
And I guess we'll see how, is it still squishy?
I don't know if you can see this. No, it's not squishy.
No?
But the inside expanded, so it's just white on the inside.
So, let's give it a shot. It basically turned them into hard candy. They taste just like Skittles, but have a lot more crunch to them. Probably a little bit more fluffed than if you had like just frozen Skittle, but they're pretty good. It's different.
The first one I got still had a little bit of a gooey, but that one was like real crunchy.
Yeah.
Like it just broke apart.
Next I'm gonna try Sour Patch Kids just because it's on that same tray. And as I kind of said when we pulled them out, doesn't really look like much changed in them. They're still pretty gooey, like a gummy, but they're still sour.
They're still sour.
But they taste exactly the same. I don't think it did anything to them. Except for they're a little bit warmer just because they came off the warming tray.
Woo! That's sour.
I guess she can't handle sour.
I love sour. Yeah, I don't think that those were
I don't. It didn't really sound like it did anything.
It may have
so
needed longer than the rest of these.
maybe. All right, I'm gonna do a milk dud. Just kind of following the pattern. These are light.
Very light.
There's-
It feels like a cheese puff.
Yeah, and it's. I don't know if that'll focus or not, but there we go. Maybe it's real fluffy, just kind of like you said, a cheese puff or something. So. I could get behind that. That's pretty good.
It kind of almost tastes like.
Almost like a malted milk ball.
You don't like those?
I don't like those, but that one's got more caramel in it. But
It also reminds me of like a s'more, like
Yeah.
or a roasted marshmallow.
yeah, I can see that.
Are you gonna try another one?
I'll leave it. I'll be good.
Let's go to Mike and I.
Yeah, let's get a Myconite. Well, red's my favorite Myconite, so that's what I'm gonna get. Whoa. Looks like they still have some crunch to them as well. I imagine they're probably gonna be a lot like these Sour Patch Kids.
Well, a little crispy.
Yeah, the outside got kind of crispy. The inside stayed about the same gooiness.
Again, that might have been it needed to be longer. Maybe these more gummy style
Yeah,
needed to be longer.
but they're still good. But Mykonites are good to begin with. So let's go ahead and do our Starburst.
I'm gonna get pink because I like pink.
So the Starburst looks like it's not quite as. It looks like it's hard.
Yeah, it looks hard. I don't know if you can.
They feel a little bit lighter than they were probably putting them in.
Yeah, and they're obviously a lot thicker.
Pillowy, yeah. Golly! Oh,
Don't break your tooth.
they're hard. Actually, it tastes really good though. There's a lot of flavor compacted in that little bit there.
I think this would make it last a lot longer.
Yeah, it's more of a you suck on it or something, but
Yeah, because I can feel it as I'm sucking on it. It reconstituting.
yeah.
Yeah, that flavor is a lot more.
One thing we've noticed with mainly like watermelon and apples and stuff, when you freeze dry it, the flavor really compacts into them. We had a watermelon that just really wasn't a great tasting watermelon. We went ahead and freeze dried it.
Fresh,
Yeah, when it was fresh. We freeze dried it, and when it came out, it tasted like some of the best tasting watermelons that you have. It was more of a candy style, but it tasted really good. And that's exactly what it did to these. I mean, except these have good flavor to begin with, but it really brought a lot of extra flavor out in the back.
I do like that because I could unwrap as fast as I get them unwrapped. I could go through Starburst when they're normal.
Yeah.
With it freeze dried, it being harder, I think it'd last longer because I could suck on it.
Yeah.
Kind of like a Jolly Rancher in its original state.
Yeah.
But let's see what a Jolly Rancher.
Let's do the Jolly Rancher. I'm gonna go with pink because it looked like it was gonna be easy to get.
Blue is easy to get. You got blue?
I got it. So I got a pink, and again, as you could probably see earlier, maybe there we go. It just exploded. It's really weird. So, all right.
The exact opposite effect from the Starburst. Whereas like in the Starburst original state, it's like super easy to go through. And then when it's freeze dried, you have to suck on it. Jolly Rancher in their original state, you have to suck on them. Freeze dried, they break down a lot quicker.
Yeah. I feel like they're gonna still compact and kind of become regular Jolly Rancher.
Once you digest it,
Well, it's just really sticky in my mouth.
yeah.
I'm sticking to my teeth. And Just like a Jolly Rancher would.
But it breaks down a lot quicker than
Yeah.
in its original state.
It's like somebody took a Jolly Rancher, got it to a molten state, and then blew it like glass. Like they would blow glass, and then you're eating it in that form.
Interesting. I think out of my favorites, I think I like the Milk Duds.
Sorry, Jolly Rancher getting stuck. Yeah, I like the Milk Duds and the Skittles. I didn't see enough difference in the Sour Patch Kids and the Mike and Ike's to really make a justification call on those. I think they, like the Sour Patch Kids to me taste exactly like they do out of the package. And the Mike and Ike's are close. And like I said, we may just have needed to freeze dry them longer. Even though they did, the freeze dryer did finish all of its cycles in 10 hours, because it happened right as we were fixing to leave for work, I extended it another 11 hours roughly. So I don't know how much more, I don't know how much longer it would need it to be, or if it's just because we had such a varying style of candy here, or material here, that it just wasn't ever going to happen. But if you did a whole tray of the Sour Patch, maybe it would work better. I'm not sure.
Yeah, maybe.
But yeah, so to me, the Milk Duds and the Milk Duds #1, Skittles #2.
I'm kind of disappointed in the Starburst. But like I said, it might would make me savor the Starburst a little bit more.
Yeah. So.
Do we want to try a brownie? I'll save one for my brother.
Okay, I was gonna say, if your brother's not gonna get mad, we will.
We'll just share one. Maybe.
Well, evidently the brownies got hard. There's a little bit of a break.
A little bit of it.
There you go. That works. So the brownie stayed looking exactly like it did out of the package, yeah. But like she said it, or like she showed, it's hard.
It's hard.
Let's see what it tastes like. With teeth, it actually breaks pretty easy. Little gooey in the middle. It's actually really good.
I don't think my brother's gonna like it.
It made it really crunchy on the outside, but the middle, probably just a time thing in the freeze dryer. It's still, I'm not gonna say gooey necessarily, but it's soft in the middle. Has a lot of flavor there. So it's really good. I don't know that it beats the Milk Duds.
Yeah.
But it may be about in the same realm as the Skittles.
It is funny how much more flavor there is. Oh, it is a little.
So now we got these all freeze dried and taste tested. We're gonna go ahead and store them in an airtight container as much as we can, at least it looks like. And that way when our nieces and nephews come over, or just any other family that wants to play along, they can all try some. So we're gonna show you how we've been storing stuff. We found a new tool that we really like, especially when you're gonna use when you're freeze drying a high use item. Like one of our favorites that we've found recently is freeze dried chopped onions. I love to put it in one of these jars, and that way anytime I'm making eggs or almost anything, I just open the jar, dump a couple onions in, and then seal it back up. They seem to keep really well that way, and it adds a lot of flavor. If I just put it right in my eggs, they reconstitute by the time I get ready to cook. So we're gonna show you that new system real quick. Okay, so this is our new tool. It's just a mason jar vacuum sealer. Just comes with a little pump that's rechargeable, and it comes with a couple of different mason jar lids.
Yeah, one for the regular size and for the wide mouth.
Yeah. And we have an attachment like this for our vacuum sealer,
Our food saver.
our food saver. And it works fine, and we really liked it before as well. It's just this is a lot smaller, a lot easier to just keep stored in the kitchen, a lot easier to just put on there and go real quick. So we will put a link to this in our description. So I guess we can start out with the Skittles. They're small enough, we can probably just dump them.
Yeah. Reminds me of like marbles.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like. And by the way, we washed our hands before doing this. Even though it's mostly going to be us consuming it, there is the chance of our nieces and nephews in our family consuming it, so we obviously washed our hands before touching their food.
Plus I had to wash my hands a second time because I had that chocolate all over my hands.
I really thought that was going to fit in there.
I guess we're going to have to eat these for dessert tonight.
I guess so. Well, darn.
Darn it.
So all you have to do is put the lid on the jar, and then you take the one that's appropriate size for the size of the lid, and just push it on there until you have a good solid seal on that. And then you take the pump, and there's a little hole on the top of the jar, or on the top of the device there. You put the pump on that, press it and turn it on, and it just pumps the air out real quick. You leave it for about 15 to 20 seconds, according to the instructions. I just kind of leave it until I hear the pump start to struggle and where it really sounds like it's done. So it sounds like it's done. Just turn it off, break the seal, and then when you pull that off, you've got a good tight seal, and that lid doesn't want to come off at all. Still recommend putting the ring on it just for extra security. That way it doesn't get bumped and fall off. So there's one down, ready to start the next. All right, so we have them all packaged up. We decided just to go with a Ziploc for the Jolly Ranchers. We didn't really have any more jars that we were willing to take up space on. So we'll put a desiccant pouch in that, and it ought to last fine for no longer than it should last in our house. So, but everything else is sealed, except for the brownies also, but we're giving those away immediately, so.
Yeah. Hope you enjoyed our little experiment with these different candies.
Yeah. It's a lot of fun to see what you can do with the freeze dryer. Most of these weren't probably great wins, but I think I forgot what these are called.
The Milk Duds.
Yes, I think the Milk Duds are winners that we didn't expect. And then I know people go for the Skittles. So
yeah, the Skittles were pretty cool.
So
I wouldn't say that I recommend it for the Starburst. I mean, that wasn't.
They do taste a lot better if you don't just crunch on them immediately and let them kind of sit in your mouth for a little bit.
I guess it teaches you to savor the flavor. If y'all have something that you want us to try to test out in our freeze dryer, leave us a comment below. This is kind of a year that I'm wanting to test out the freeze dryer and see what all we can do in it.
Yeah. So we have a couple of things that we plan on doing in it, but definitely give us some suggestions. We want to try stuff.
Yeah. So until next time, bye.
Bye.